guys. So
that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
Exciting to hear.
Kind of glad to see. That says a lot about your program, Coach. All right, we'll get our introduction again. Going clockwise, Clay Meyer right there, and Coach Robert Clardy, Matt Hennenberg, and Mr. Sutton Medley. And we're going to bring you the Coach's Show here tonight. And, Coach, we'll start off with reviewing the Osage game. You know, your kids played a pretty good game, but doggone, it was a tough loss.
It was. And right whenever I called them over after the game, I just wanted to express I was pleased with how they played at times. But what really stood out to me was just how gutsy of a performance it was, because just completely different than what I see on what I had seen previously on Saturdays coaching in college. I mean, those guys get to come off the field, get one quick drink of water, and then they're right back out, and now they don't ever leave the field of play. And just extremely gutsy performance, how they played for each other. We had guys playing 120 snaps on a Friday night, and they never gave up. They fought all the way through it, and we made some mistakes, as you would expect week one. But like, you know, the saying goes, the most improvement you're going to have is from week one to week two. And I really like where we started. But I love how coachable our guys are and how excited they were when they showed up to practice this week and they were ready to get back to it.
Well, and you had to like the fact they never let down. There's 1 second left on the clock. They got a chance to tie it up, and everybody was still going 100%.
Yeah.
So
and that's what we told them all week, because we knew it was a great Osage football team. And I told them, I was like, guys, they're going to roll the ball out there and walk over these guys. It's going to be a 48-minute fight, and you've got to expect that. And we gave ourselves a lot of chances to win the game. And there was some great takeaways, too, where, you know, throughout this season, we're going to face adversity, and we're going to be in close games. And now we know what that feels like. And now whenever it happens, you know, we're not going to get tense. We're not going to be nervous about that situation. We're going to be ready to attack it because we've been in it before. Now we need to come out on the other side of it so we know how to finish those games. And but I was proud of how they fought for 4 quarters and never gave up. And we learned a lot about our team. We learned a lot about all of our players, and not just them, but the guys on the sideline as well, and how they stayed locked in. Because it's a full family victory whenever we play on a Friday night. Those wins aren't easy to come by. So whenever we win, it's all of us, and when we lose, it's all of us as well. So those freshman JV guys, they took it hard too. It means a lot to them. They want us to be successful. So learned a lot about our team, but I was very pleased with how we approached the game, and then how we've approached this week in practice as well.
I'm going to read the sponsors real quick, and then you guys can ask some questions. Of course, Barge's Pizza, our main sponsor. We're right here in their restaurant, and come on down. You can smell the pizza in here. It smells awful good. We're going to have a picture and get some pizza here. Shelter Insurance, Craig Lehman Agency, Bill Grant Ford, McCarthy Drilling, Deanna Andrews State Farm Insurance, CNC Farm and Home Supply, Animal Care Clinic, Mid-Missouri Bank, HMI Fireplace, MD Lux, and Grand Missouri Bank. Fire away, guys. Got questions for them?
Well, go ahead.
From our vantage point, of course, we're right up behind you high. Yep. You know, you've been up there a billion times. From our vantage points, of all the things that I liked about the ball game, and I really liked a lot. If you didn't care who won, it was a great ball game to watch. But of all the things I liked, from the start to the finish, was the body language. The body language coming out of the tunnel is always good. The body language, the kickoff is always good. It's when things kind of get tough or things don't go good. It's when we've seen in in the past we've seen it. You know, the heads droop and the slouch. Didn't see any of that from any of the coaches, any of the players. Anybody really enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, and like I told you guys last week, that was something I was really looking forward to, because we haven't seen that yet, and I haven't seen how this team is going to approach adversity and how they're going to handle it. But it's something we talk about all the time when we talk about our AIE, so they're hearing it on a daily basis and how they approach everything, not just the game of football. So in that situation out on the field, we didn't expect them to react in any other way besides staying together and encouraging their brothers. And luckily, we saw that a couple times throughout, like SBU team camp and a couple of our other scrimmage settings. We were able to put them in those tough positions. But like you said, I mean, they stayed together. They stayed together on the sidelines. When the guys made mistakes, they picked each other up, and that's what you need. Because exactly. You got to stay in the moments of football, because if you put too much into the pass play, you're not going to be able to be focused in what you're trying to do on that play. And that's when your brothers next to you expect you to be locked in and be ready to go. And if they can't count on you, then that's a problem. So they've done a great job with that, the way they approach every single day, and not just the game of football, but the game in life.
It was evident from where we sat that they were they bought into that big time.
Yeah.
Very much so. I was talking with people around town, and they said, tough loss, and everything. And my mindset was thinking, okay, we've seen so many good things right there, and in the whole scheme of things, these were two really good ball teams.
Yeah.
And what it boils down to, when you got two really good teams playing against each other, if you're in it up until the last second, hey, that's a success, and you can kind of go back and work on a couple things. But as far as the body language and the attitude and everything, 3 times they could have shut down. The first drive that we had in the first half, interception in the end zone. That could take a wind out of a lot of teams.
Yeah.
But it didn't. We went back down and made the score, tied them up 7-7 after they scored on their possession. First play of the second half, our first drive of the second half. Once again, interception in our end zone going in. All right, so there's the second time, and then the third time, hey, tough break on the extra point on the snap coming back. And those things are going to happen. Okay, I know that. Everybody knows that. Minute 20 left though. We get the ball at the 40-yard line and we take it down. And I mean, like you said, every one of those kids was fired up the whole time. That Banner making a great decision. We didn't think that he would make it to the end zone. And we're like, get out of bounds. And he did it. I mean, he got out with that 1 second left. And, gave us an opportunity. And when you have that opportunity into the game, that's a 50-50 ball game.
Yeah.
So exciting to watch that. Really, the defense coming in and stepping up. I'm learning a little bit about this 3-4. Like I said, it's been a long time. But, I remember Coach Conran telling me, there's some things, sometimes just due to an offensive set, there's 1 or 2 guys that have a lot of big responsibility, got about half of the field. And, they got into a couple of those plays. But they never gave up the big play. Yeah. They did what they were supposed to. They kept the receivers in front of them. They may pick up the first down or 10, 15 yards, but they made the stop. And that's the most crucial thing at that point. Yep. Go ahead and have another battle on the next down.
Yeah. And when you mentioned Chap there at the end, like both of those interceptions that we threw in the game were both on first downs too, and trying to take a shot and make a big play down the field. And those are learnable, teachable moments for him. But what did he do? He came right back and made probably one of the best throws I've seen in a long time. That throw on the run to Braden Long right there in the corner of the end zone to change the whole game and to kind of steal some momentum. And so, I mean, he's extremely hard on himself, made a lot of great plays to keep us in that game and give us an opportunity to win it. And just really proud of how whenever we brought them all in there at the end, we're like, hey, this is what we wanted. We wanted a chance to drive the field and go win the football game. Let's go do it. And they all answered it.
His arm strength, man, I'll tell you what a difference from that. And he improved every game last year. But watching him throw that ball, and, hey, hats off to you. 2 leading receivers were 2 juniors that didn't even play last year. And one of them goes for 133 yards, and the other one is 75.
You can say that's coaching all you want, but that's
you got them out there. So that's great. And what weapons those young men are going to be throughout this season.
Yeah, they've stepped up, done a great job, and just continuing. They don't care who gets the ball. They just want to win.
Yep, and, exactly.
Braden Long had a great game, but he would do anything he could to fix one of his blocks down the field to spring somebody else for a touchdown. And that's why I love seeing how those guys attack the film sessions and the selfless attitude they take towards being a receiver and just being a liberator.
Just my kind of take on the game. First of all, hats off to Osage. They're a good-looking team, Coach. That's not a real tradition-rich program. They had a good run last year. They got us pretty early, and they just kept going. But, man, their quarterback, good-looking athlete. Yep. Both their running backs, number 12. Number 8. I mean, and you did a good job containing him. He's like 6'1", 195 and fast. And I was really impressed with our defense containing both their running backs. Again, I think Banner, his maturity, his arms, we were like, the first couple throws were like, holy cow. I still think he struggles seeing down the field a lot, over his line a little bit, but I mean, you can't knock his effort, and the improvement's been great. Defensively, I thought our guys just played great containing them. Our special teams were good. The kicker you recruited, he did a heck of a job, I thought. I mean, not his fault on the snap, but, his kicks were good and up the middle. He punted good, kicked off fairly well. So, I mean, that's a pretty good thing. One thing you did bring up that I saw a lot of was downfield blocking by the receivers. We had a lot of good downfield blocks by the receivers, and that's big. If, like I said, I say selfless because, well, I'm not getting the ball. I'll cruise here a little bit, JV cruise, but no, those kids were blocking, getting the job done.
We talked about that this Sunday. We talked about explosive plays. You like to see plays that are 15-plus in the running game and then 20-plus in passing. Well, those 15-plus in the running game, that's us as wide receivers. Obviously, the offensive line, we expect them to do their job, but if we want to have those explosive plays downfield, O-line can get us 7-8, but once they get to that second level, it's our job as receivers to go out and block and be the reason someone else scores a touchdown. And I saw a lot of great effort from those guys, and want to just continue to see that because, I mean, those guys are going to continue to get a lot of reps throughout a game and a lot of wear and tear on their body, but they got to come back and be ready to go again. But those guys behind them, they've got to be ready as well to step in. And if that guy needs a couple plays off, then we don't skip a beat. That guy's ready to go out there and execute, and whenever he's ready to get back on the field, he's back on the field and doing his job.
We all mentioned, too, Cyrus Jackson running a lot different than he did last year, and he's not hesitant. He's going to the hole. He did a really good job once he got through the first wave to pick a hole in and get the extra yards. His improvement was really noticed as well in the ball game. So he winds up with 123 yards. You rush for 154, and you throw for 229 with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. But, that's not a bad night against a good team statistically.
And several of those too, like Cyrus had that 10-yard loss on the snap over our head on the first drive, which we overcame and ended up getting a first down, but still that's putting ourselves in a bad situation there on a first down. And half of our first downs, first down really was where the game kind of broke down for me because we want to try and average 4+ yards on first down to put us in a better 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, and put the defense in a tougher situation where it gives us more options. And first and 10, maybe half the time we got over 4 yards. The rest of that, we have all 5 of our offensive penalties on the day were on first down. Both of our turnovers on the day were on first down. So just being locked in the moment on first down and high execution and getting lined up after big plays or the first play of a drive and making sure that hyper focus kicks in and we're ready to go. So the stress, obviously, as you can see, has been first down success this week. And that's not just on the offensive side. That's the defensive side as well. We want to try and keep them in a second long, second medium on the flip side of that as well. So, just starting off strong on first down and not giving ourselves those negative situations with a snap over the head or anything like that. So just staying disciplined, staying in the moment there offensively, especially on first down.
And your linebacking crew, I was impressed with them. Of course, you got McCurry in the middle. You knew what he was going to be. Polk is really physically matured. The Bunn kid, I thought, for new position, all of them across the board, I thought your linebacking crew was excellent.
Like you said, Steigers and Colt Hill, the freshman, coming in. He's got 10 tackles. We had three people with double-digit tackles, and that's pretty impressive. Some not some that played last year. I mean, once again, this is some new faces out there, new names to be hollering and watching for. I really like that defense, and the way they just flew to the ball. It wasn't just just solo tackles and everything. We'd get the first guy hit, and then they would pile on. I mean, I love seeing that second, and third, and fourth guy getting there and trying to maybe get that turnover.
Those two that you mentioned, the freshman and sophomore, so a lot of young talent stepping up for us. But then you got Kale and Logan from a senior standpoint that are doing a great job leading for us. And I've talked with Coach Jolly a couple times since the game, and talked with him Monday night at the JV game, and he said, boy, I tell you, our boys felt like they were in a car accident.
Well, I was going to ask you,
that was a physical
it
game.
Seemed like a very physical
for us
game.
as well. And he's like, Coach, I'm going to tell you, we've had all of you guys we want this year. Like that was one of the most physical games we've played in a long time. And we knew it was going to be that. And our guys were feeling it too. But that's what we expect every single week. And want those guys to go out and you got guys like Kale McCurry, you mentioned, running down. He makes 3 out of 4 tackles on our kickoff team. Like he binds the ball and does a great job of that. So doing whatever he can, not just at linebacker, but being on the kickoff team and saying, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make a tackle on kickoff every single time. That's his mindset. So does a great job selling out in special teams as well.
Well, we're going to send it back to the studio to pay some bills. You're watching the Coach's Corner on MoSportsZone.com, listening on Your Country 99.
Is anything better than a hot, cheesy slice of pizza fresh out of the oven? Barge's Pizza in Bolivar believes great pizza is meant to be shared. Grabbing lunch with coworkers, feeding the whole family, or surprising a neighbor just because. There's one golden rule. Be nice. Share a slice. Bubbling pepperoni to fresh margarita with mozzarella, basil, and fine-ripened tomatoes. Every bite's made with love and meant to be shared. Make someone's day delicious. In Bolivar, south of the square on Main Street. Barge's Pizza.
At Animal Care Clinic, they're not just another veterinary clinic. They're your pet's best friend. Their team, led by Doctors Levin and Lindsay Roten, offer top-notch care for all animals, big and small. From intensive care and checkups to pet supplies and grooming, they've got it covered. Keep your furry friend healthy and happy. Schedule an appointment today at animalcarebolivar.com. That's animalcarebolivar.com. Animal Care Clinic. Their name says it all.
Mr. Google wants you to think you can fix your car on the internet. If you can just figure out what's wrong without talking to those greedy dealers, you'll save lots of money. At Bill Grant Ford, our appointment book fills every week with people who started on Google. And you might be surprised to know the labor rate in our shop is not the highest in town. What we can do for you is bring experience and training to a world filled with internet noise. We encourage you to be informed when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. And when your vehicle starts asking for help, see why it's better in Bolivar at Bill Grant Ford.
The Answer Man at C&C Farm and Home in Bolivar and Lebanon has the answers for back-to-school clothing. Like a large selection of jeans by Levi's, Wrangler, and Ariat. Plus, C&C has 16-inch oscillating fans, barrel fans, hoses, and sprinklers, too. And C&C has the answers on what you need to recoat and repair your driveway before winter.
Hi, this is Donald with C&C Farm and Home Supply in Bolivar and Lebanon. If you have questions, we have the answers.
Welcome back to Barge's Pizza, just south of the Bolivar Square here on Main Street. It's the Coach's Corner. We just wrapped up a review of last week's game against Osage. We'll roll right into the game this week against Harrisonville, a team that we're not unfamiliar with, Coach. We played them about 6 times, a lot of times in the playoffs, but we had them in a regular season. Last year, got away with a 1-point victory up there. What can you tell us about the Harrisonville Wildcats?
Yeah, one thing you can see on film whenever you're looking at them compared to the Osage team is, one, maybe not as big in some positions, but they play extremely hard. You can tell that they're very well coached. They play extremely hard at all positions. And whenever they've got some young guys at positions, they bring in another young guy. That guy's playing just as hard as well. But great football team, very fundamentally sound. Offensively can do a lot of things to try and get you out leveraged and do a lot of different things to attack you. Their quarterback's pretty darn good athlete and does a lot of good things. So back-to-back weeks facing a really good quarterback, a really good defense, just all around a very talented team. But you know, for us, we just got to go out and do what we got to do this week. It doesn't matter who's across from us. And I told the guys that when we took a knee after the game. I was like, it's us this week. We just got to go out and continue to improve and perfect our game. And just whoever's across from us, it's us against them. So, but Harrisonville, a very good football team.
Number 2, Levi Hall, is at the quarterback, 6'1", 180-pound senior.
Yeah, really good player.
Yep. What we haven't seen, well, I didn't get to go last year to the game. I haven't seen them. What are they running now? I know they used to do option. They had some great athletes when we played them in the past.
They still do. They do some really good stuff and do some really good stuff to get that quarterback running. Really good from the outside veer standpoint. Still do that, but then he's got a good arm where whenever he's on the move, they can do some stuff screen game wise to try and get you out leverage. They really try and attack a defense kind of like we do, where they really try and stretch the field horizontally and vertically and try and take advantage of opportunities down the field as well. But really just uses athleticism and just the way that they play offensively, hard-nosed, and just try and get you out leveraged. So we got to do an extremely good job of communicating and doing our job. Don't try and do something flashy. Don't try and do something because you think it might make a play. You got to do your job, and you got to trust your brother to do his. Anytime you play a triple option team or a team that's going to run the beer, you got to be prepared for that. And you just got to do your job and trust your teammates.
Defensively, what are they doing now?
They're in a 3-3 stack, 3-4 style defense, kind of like what we'll see depending on the formation. They've got several times where they've got like 3 safety look, which you've seen come along here years past. So they just get their athletes out in space and let those guys go and make plays. And we'll see multiple different coverages. We'll see different looks based on our front and what we're trying to do. And obviously they're gonna watch our game film and come up with their own scheme. And so we've got to do a great job adjusting to that. Once we come to the sideline after the first series and then the second series, and we can communicate with those guys quickly before we take the field. Hey, they're doing this. Hey, they're showing us this. Then it's just how well our guys can go out and execute whatever they're trying to show us and be able to make those mid-game adjustments. And I was very pleased with how we did it versus Osage. But now we're game planning all week for one thing. Now whenever we see a different look or they change something up to take away something that's been working for us, we got to go out and execute that.
Guys?
That covered a lot of me. That covered a lot for me.
Covered a whole bunch. So, last year's game up there at Harrisonville, Sutton and myself was up there covering that. And one thing, they're whether they're at home or they're away, they bring a crowd. Oh, yeah. They bring a very loud, noisy crowd with horns and rattles and bells and everything else. So, and Osage had a pretty decent crowd themselves. But I fully anticipate Harrisonville to bring the house down here bring everybody. They have a swagger about them. There's no question about that. And there's nothing bad about having a swagger, but it also seems like if you can get on them and stay on them, that kind of shuts it down a little bit. And that's in years past. That's the way it's been with them. And I think that they got a new coach. Was it last year or year before last?
Last year.
Was it last year? So
Maxwell.
Yeah, so it's going to be. I know that they're going to have this revenge because that was an overtime loss for them last year, and Sutton, we talked about it all the way home. We were so excited about what we'd seen.
It hurt their feelings up there.
So I am pretty sure that they've watched film from last year on Bolivar just to get that anger. But in looking at their roster, they've got 12 seniors, only 12 seniors. So they've got a lot of young kids also. So it's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to Friday night.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just excited to see how much our guys have grown from one week to the next. And they've, like I told you guys earlier, they've done an outstanding job this week in meetings and practice. Even whenever we have optional meetings in the morning, this morning, the classroom right next to my weight room office was just completely full with players in there watching film this morning at 7 a.m. And finding a way to continue to grow and continue to get better and watching film with each other on their own and pointing stuff out on film. Like you can't ask for more from those guys, from just buying in and trying to perfect their craft, but knowing, hey, every week's going to be a battle, whether we're in conference or out of conference.
Yeah.
We know Harrisonville. We know what happened last year, but we also know the tradition that Harrisonville's had. I coached players from Harrisonville for years, and I had teammates from Harrisonville, and those were some of the hardest-nosed kids I've ever played with.
I was going to say, that's one thing, they're going to hit you.
They're going to get you.
Yeah. So we thought last week was a tough game. It's going to be like that this week. And we just keep telling those guys, you prepared for this over the summer. And you prepared and break your body down all summer, and you're only guaranteed 10 weeks. You're only guaranteed 10 opportunities to go out and do this. So you never want to have a regret going into that. So taking care of their bodies this week, eat, sleep, hydrate. They hear me say that every single day. They send it out in text messages to each other. Hey, eat, sleep, hydrate tonight. Make sure they just continue to take care of their bodies because we need them 100% every single day at practice, and then we need them 100% by Friday. So it just helps with that recovery, especially when you're playing a team like Harrisonville. It's going to come up and hit you.
We're 2-5 all time against them. Probably one of the best games Sutton and I have ever called was a 31-14 victory in 2013. We Ligonized them, is what we say. I don't know if you know Drew Ligon. Drew kind of single-handedly.
He was all over the field. Wherever the football was,
he was there making plays. And but that was quite a ball game. I mean, we took a thumping from them the first time we played them in 04.
Yeah.
They had a kid named Michael Keck who was a sophomore. Who was, looked like he was about 22 years old. And that was Sainer's senior year in the playoffs. We had him here at home. But we've had some pretty good games with them. 2-5. We've had a couple close ones with them. They blew us out that first year. But as you said, they're going to come to play, and they're going to be physical.
And it's always been a great atmosphere up there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always been a really great atmosphere, actually, at Bolivar when we play them here, because people know. They just know.
Well, I also have to say, you talked about the crowd.
Yeah.
We had a heck of a crowd. I mean, there's some excitement with your program, Coach.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
We could not be more pleased with the amount of support we've had, even after the loss in the tough game. The crowd, everybody was down on the field just telling our guys, hey, we loved how you guys played, and we loved how you guys stayed together, and we loved how much effort that they put into what they do on a Friday night. And it just showed with the support we got how much we know the town of Bolivar's behind us, and they've got our back no matter what, and that they're going to be there for our guys to support them through the wins and the losses. And the amount of support was outstanding. I mean, there were several times I was going to turn around and try and get the crowd going on a third down, but they were already standing up and going crazy. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, and I'm excited to hear what you were saying, how the kids have performed in practice this week. Because a game like that leaves that taste in your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was right there. Yeah. It was right there, and it was snatched out. And that's going to bring a little swagger in on these guys, and I know they're hungry for this win.
Yep.
So it's going to be I'm really looking forward to Friday night.
Like I told them going into week 1, we haven't proved anything yet.
Right.
And we still got to go out and prove ourselves. Nobody's just going to give us respect because we played in a close game, or they think we look a little bit different on film. We got to go out and earn respect every single week, and you got to have that. You got to have that chip on your shoulder whenever you're going out. New coach. This is a new year. It's a new team, and I want to see how this team is going to respond in those situations. And they've done a great job with that.
Good to hear.
Suddy, got anything to add?
I'm good.
All right. Well, we're a little bit early. We're going to send it back to the studio. We'll be right back. I'm going to hear from some of our fine sponsors. We'll talk about what happened in the Ozark Mountain Conference last week with Coach, and we'll have Coach Blair in here, our new activities director. I got to quit saying that.
Athletic director.
Activities director.
That's a tough one to get
You're
by.
watching the Coach's Corner on MoSportsZone.com and listening on Your Country 99.
Let's face it, renter's insurance isn't top of mind until, well, it's top of mind. That's why it can be important as a renter to make sure you have the coverage you need at a price you can afford, because you've worked hard for your stuff, right? Your local State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right renter's insurance that best fits your needs without the headache. Let's start helping protect your stuff with renter's insurance from State Farm today.
Diana Andrews, 326-2636.
Has your local bank stopped feeling local? Hello, this is Matt Hennenberg with Grand Missouri Bank. At Grand Missouri Bank, we are proud to be the only locally chartered bank in Bolivar, with local owners and decisions made right here at 1630 South Killingsworth. You'll always work with our friendly, experienced team. From offering personalized financial services to building lasting relationships, whether you're borrowing or depositing, we're here for you. Come see us at Grand Missouri Bank, Bolivar's true community bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
HMI Fireplace is here to serve your community and promote local youth sports programs. It's in HMI's history to keep your home safe and to be on the ball when winter strikes. Come into HMI Fireplace and let them write up the best defense for Old Man Winter today. Look them up online at HMIFireplaceShop.com or give them a call.
No one warns you like
Drilling, the action of making a hole in something by boring with a drill. Sounds simple, right? Well, it's not, especially when it comes to water wells, geothermal drilling, and environmental monitoring. With over 20 years experience, Jeremy McCarthy and his crews at McCarthy Drilling will have your project completed efficiently and effectively using state-of-the-art drill rigs. Don't leave your drilling to just anyone. Contact the experts at McCarthy Drilling in Halfway. McCarthy Drilling done right.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner here at Barge's Pizza on South Main Street, just off the Bolivar Square. And right now we're going to stage. Branson, kind of surprising. They go to Harrison, Arkansas, and get beat 34-27. Were you surprised by that? I mean, I know you don't want to talk about that. We won't put you on the spot too much.
We talked about the conference teams last week, and especially Branson with the ties they have with SBU, just how well coached they are. It doesn't matter how many seniors they had last year. We knew they were going to rebuild. And Harrison's always had a great football team. I've seen some great teams over the years, so I know they knew that was going to be a battle going down there.
Your alma mater gets the win over Parkview 7-6 last Thursday night, and in a pretty close one. I hadn't heard what happened there, but Marshfield gets off on the winning way. Parkview could be struggling again this year.
Yeah, there was some touchdowns called off the board in that game, but it's just kind of missed opportunities for both teams to really kind of get some more points on the board that game. But just like everybody, they're going to try and rebound. They're going to try and fix those mistakes and make that growth from week 1 to week 2.
Just a quick question: do you watch all the conference games? Are you video?
I didn't watch that game. I talked to Coach Bull after the game. Okay. Obviously, we didn't talk about anything X's and O's or anything about that, but just congratulating them on the win.
I didn't know if you were watching film every week on all the others.
We download every single one. We'll at least peek at those. We try not to look too far ahead, but. We'll
you got nothing else to do at night, right?
I fell asleep with the laptop in my lap. I had a class Friday night at 1:30 something in the morning. So
you can just download all that stuff anymore, right?
So they all have to put them in a league pool. We just pull them off of that and put them on that week. And then as we get closer to it, now we've got all those broken down already. So it just kind of helps that week where we don't have to do as much. And you don't try and look ahead, but you try and be prepared so you don't have to cram as much there on a Saturday and Sunday. You get to spend time with family, and then whenever we just get together as staff on Sunday, you just look at that next opponent. You've already got a lot of that data entry done and kind of know what to expect.
West Plains hosted Mountain Home, Arkansas, and the Bombers beat the Zizzers 49-30. That's kind of a little surprise to me, too.
That was a surprise.
Not that Mountain Home's, they've had some good programs, too, but traveling to West Plains, I thought maybe the Zizzers would come out. In fact, everybody picked West Plains. Hillcrest hosted Van Horn out of the Kansas City area, 38-6. Not a good loss for the Hornets there on the north side of Springfield. Any comments? Have you seen anything on that one?
No, I have not watched that one.
And then Carl Junction, 35-21 over Capital City at Carl Junction. And we all thought that would probably be the case as well. Carl Junction, kind of like West Plains, kind of tough place to play. Usually pretty hard-nosed.
And it's so hard to get there from anywhere. You're going to drive a long time.
Just like West Plains.
Yeah, exactly.
And then last but not least, Log Rog takes a 42-18 victory over Reed Spring at Reed Spring in an old COC small deal. And I think Reed Spring may be down a little bit this year. Log Rog with the new coach. I think they're going to be a much improved team.
Yeah, for sure. You knew whenever they hired him, Hall of Fame caliber coach, bringing him in. It's a culture thing for him, and he knew he was going to get that thing spinning in the right direction, and obviously it didn't take him very long.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for you, Coach. I think they got some pizza up there. We're going to take a short break. This isn't on the schedule. We're going to bring in Colt Blair, the new activities director. Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck to you Friday night. All right, you're watching Coach's Corner on MoSports.com, listening on Your Country 99.
Bold transformations start at MD Lux Aesthetics and Med Spa in Bolivar. Lose weight with personalized solutions. Balance your body with expert hormone therapy. Revitalize your skin with powerful laser treatments. And refresh your look with precision injections. Every journey begins with a $50 consultation credited towards your service when you move forward. Find them on Facebook or find them behind Bill Roberts Chevrolet. Step into the future of beauty and wellness where cutting-edge science meets self-care. MD Lux Aesthetics and Med Spa.
Mid-Missouri Bank has crossed another huge benchmark. They've paid their Midmo customers more than $8 million in Casasa rewards. Join Midmo in the race to $10 million. Get in on your share of the earnings today. Whether it's cash back on debit card swipes or a high interest rate on checking and savings account balances, Midmo Bank pays you for the spending activity you're probably already doing. You deserve more for your money. How does more money sound? Open an account in minutes at openaccounts.midmobank.com. Mid-Missouri Bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner here, live from Barge's Pizza on South Main Street, just off the Bolivar Square. And we're joined now by the new activities director at Bolivar High School, Colt Blair. I don't think you need any introduction here in Bolivar, do you, Colt?
Well, I don't know. I've been gone for about 8 years, so maybe so. I might be old news. So.
Let's see, a 2005 graduate?
2005.
2005 graduate of Bolivar High School, played basketball at SBU, then C of O, and then came back and coached here for a short time. But how about
2012 to 2017?
17, 5 years.
Yep.
And then where'd you go from there?
So from there, I got into administration, went over to Buffalo for 3 years and was the high school assistant principal. And then for the last 5 years, I've been at Willard, 2 as an assistant principal and 3 as the athletic director. So.
Okay. Are you guys glad to be back? I mean, your wife's from here. Crystal, she's from here. She was on the state championship basketball team. Strong ties. I went to college with her mom here at SBU in the early 80s. So are you guys, you feel like you're home?
Yeah, no, we're ecstatic to be back. We wish our house would sell a little quicker so we weren't driving quite as far right now.
Do you know a realtor?
Well, I do. She's pretty good, so I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah, you better let her have
Kind of walked right into that one there.
But, no, we're really glad to be back. Our kids are coming to school here. When the opportunity to come back to Bolivar came up, it was just something that we couldn't pass on. So we're thrilled to be here.
So how many activities do you actually oversee as activities director?
That's a loaded question. I don't know off the top of my head. I think we've got 7 things going right now in the fall. So
7 sports.
Yeah, you throw cheer in there, and you throw speech and debate, band, choir. We've got basketball, boys and girls in the winter, and then boys and girls wrestling, boys and girls track, baseball. We got swimming for girls.
Yeah.
I know I'm forgetting something. Baseball,
wrestling.
Tennis, boys and girls, tennis, boys and girls, golf.
Yeah, you put me on the spot there. Good grief. But no.
Well, I mean, this fall you've got cross country, boys soccer, football, softball, volleyball. Which I can't keep the tennis and golf there flip flop.
Girls is for both golf and tennis right now.
Right now, okay.
All right. Did you say cross country?
Yep.
So I'm just trying to get week to week right now.
Day to day, I would say.
So tomorrow we're hosting a big volleyball tournament between the OMC and the CMAC, and that's going to be held at Betty and Bobby Allison Sports Complex. So that'll be a big tournament
out by the airport.
Yeah, and so we're excited about that. And then obviously football Friday, and our girls tennis team is having a kind of a team duel with 4 teams starting tomorrow afternoon in Elkaria. They'll start again on Friday, and then we'll have football Friday night, and then SWICA on Saturday morning, where
that's a big cross country meet. There'll be a lot of people in town.
4,000 people over at that, and then you throw country days.
Oh my goodness, yeah, with country days going on.
That'll be
It's going to be a crowded day in town.
Yeah, big day here in Bolivar, and that's athletics pretty much has become a tourism industry because it does bring, you have tournaments, if you host a district tournament, it brings a lot of money to your town. I know we're putting on a high school rodeo that brings people to town. That's 200 families coming to town. The cross country meet, it's a tourism thing. I mean, they're in your restaurants, they're buying your gas, they're doing things. So bravo to the school for stepping forward and doing that and helping out the community.
Appreciate that. There's a lot of good people that put a lot of time and effort into that. And so, shout out to Coach Bandy for all that he does with that SWICA meet, and Coach Smith with the volleyball tournament that we'll have tomorrow, and really all of our coaches. They work really hard to put on all these events.
And we had an event, girls volleyball out underneath the lights in the parking lot. I missed that until I saw it on Facebook afterward. How did that go?
Yeah, that's really a cool event. Again, kudos to Coach Smith on that and putting that together and helping to organize that. And it's a cool event. I hadn't been a part of that, and so I just kind of said, hey, where do you need me to help? They started rolling out all the pieces that we had to put together. I thought, oh no, we're going to be here all night. They got going, and it was done within an hour and a half. So
yeah, my understanding was last year was the first year that event took place.
Yes.
And it was the first one, I believe, in Southwest Missouri. Nobody had heard of it, and it garnered a lot of attention, as I remember. Right.
Now everybody's copying us. They're calling to borrow or to rent the floor.
The floor,
and so
everything.
Everybody's getting into that. I actually had the AD that took my place at Willard. She called me and she said, hey, how cool is this event that you put on outside? I said, it's pretty cool. So if it's something you want to do, let me know.
Well, and Willard's a volleyball school. I think it would be huge at a bigger volleyball school. So.
Yep.
So besides scheduling, counseling, what kind of explain your day-to-day activity to us?
I don't know. It's kind of being a firefighter, just seeing what comes your way. Today, just trying to make sure everything's in place, making sure officials are in place for the upcoming week, making sure buses are ready to go, because the last thing I want is to put us in a bad spot to get gone late. Making sure we're scheduling even into next year, getting ready for that. But you kind of got to stay 1 to 2 weeks ahead, because if an event's not ready to go, you can't just make it happen all of a sudden. So, it's just, I think the biggest thing is staying ahead and staying vigilant, making sure you have everything in place.
So you've coached, you've been an administrator, you've been activities director. Which do you like best?
Gosh. I think I like pieces of all of it. Coaching, the best part of that, and probably the piece I miss the most is when you're teaching, you're with the kids every day. You get to know them all by name. You're coaching them after school too. You can walk through the hall and say, hey Jim, hey Joe, how are you doing today? And then seeing them out in the community, I still see a couple of kids that I had in school, and or they may work at Walmart somewhere here in town, and hey, Coach Blair, how's it going? And that's the cool part of that. Administration, you get to make an impact probably on a larger scale as far as implementing a vision and trying to make sure you move a school forward in the best way possible. So, I think overall it's great to be back home. I've done this job in 2 places, and I've only been here a month and a half probably, but it just feels really good to be home, and it's a great place.
Chuck and Sonny got to be happy, don't they? The grandkids are here.
Well, they're glad about that, but I'm probably back a little too close. So no, we're glad to be back around them and be a little bit closer.
I got to see your dad yesterday morning. Got to visit with him a little bit and everything. He looks great and everything. I seen him at the game Friday night. I imagine he's probably going to be there again this Friday night.
Yeah, I think he's planning on. I think they're actually planning on coming to the volleyball event tomorrow.
Super.
But he's getting along really well. I think he's feeling as good as he's felt after he can breathe again. He was in a place where he wasn't getting much oxygen. So you can't keep him down. He's out in the yard. He's planting. He's mowing.
Yeah, I heard he was cutting down a big old tree over there the other day.
He told me, I was just over there before I came over here. He said he's going to cut down a willow, but he's going to wait till we get some rain so he can burn it when he cuts it down.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
one job that he did not tell you that he does is he shows up over there at SBU at about noon or 1 o'clock on a Friday afternoon and puts all that signage up and everything. And I'm telling you right now, if you did not make it to last Friday night's game, you need to come and just look. The stadium, it just looks great.
It does look great.
With all the signage for Bolivar High School.
I appreciate you guys saying that. Yeah, we wanted to make it look a little more like Bolivar. So got with Bo Banner, and he helped design some of that stuff, and it really does look good. And in the video that was put together,
that was great. Yeah,
the video was super.
Kudos to Braden Berg. I had seen another school do that and sent him the example, and he got all that put together, and yeah, it looked really good.
It goes back. I saw Ronnie McIntyre, the class of '63, is my neighbor. I was like, that's Ronnie McIntyre. So it goes back a long way, and there probably wasn't much film before '63.
I think he went through a lot of old yearbooks and found a lot of good photos, and so it turned out really cool.
All right, and I really like there's only one sign, the Liberator. That whoever's idea that was, that's a great marketing genius.
Give Bo his props.
That's
on that
Bo.
Okay. That was a Bo design.
Yeah. All right. Well, we just got word that the softball girls defeated Camden 17-4 tonight. They took second place in the Morrisville tournament last week, and I went down there for that. My gosh, what a big event that was. That's crazy down there. So, well, we appreciate you being on. We will be talking to all your coaches. I've worked with you already about setting that up, having a coach come in every week and visit with them. So we'll be talking to all the fall coaches each night from here on out. But we wanted to start with you, and congratulations. Glad to have you back, and have enjoyed working with you so far.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all you guys do. You don't get this in every community, so this is great.
All right. We'll send it back real quick. We'll be back. We'll have Mike. We'll see some pizza. We're going to see some pizza.
I think they're on the way.
All right. And then also we will talk about our picks from last week, which I really stunk it up. And we'll pick for this week. You are watching the Coach's Corner on MoSportsZone.com and listening on Your Country 99.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that. But which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Ask Craig Lehman about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
Is anything better than a hot, cheesy slice of pizza fresh out of the oven? Barge's Pizza in Bolivar believes great pizza is meant to be shared. Grabbing lunch with coworkers, feeding the whole family, or surprising a neighbor just because. There's one golden rule. Be nice. Share a slice. Bubbling pepperoni to fresh margarita with mozzarella, basil, and fine-ripened tomatoes. Every bite's made with love and meant to be shared. Make someone's day delicious. In Bolivar, south of the square on Main Street. Barge's Pizza.
At Animal Care Clinic, they're not just another veterinary clinic. They're your pet's best friend. Their team, led by Doctors Levin and Lindsay Roten, offer top-notch care for all animals, big and small. From intensive care and checkups to pet supplies and grooming, they've got it covered. Keep your furry friend healthy and happy. Schedule an appointment today at animalcarebolivar.com. That's animalcarebolivar.com. Animal Care Clinic. Their name says it all.
Mr. Google wants you to think you can fix your car on the internet. If you can just figure out what's wrong without talking to those greedy dealers, you'll save lots of money. At Bill Grant Ford, our appointment book fills every week with people who started on Google. And you might be surprised to know the labor rate in our shop is not the highest in town. What we can do for you is bring experience and training to a world filled with internet noise. We encourage you to be informed when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. And when your vehicle starts asking for help, see why it's better in Bolivar at Bill Grant Ford.
Welcome back to Barge's Pizza, just south of the Bolivar Square on Main Street. And as you can see, we have these beautiful pizzas here. This is the Liberator?
No, this is the Lonely Hearts Club.
Lonely Hearts Club, and that is
got the Bearcat.
The Bearcat. And what's on the Bearcat?
Bearcat's got chicken, mushrooms, red onions,
spinach. I see spinach.
Red sauce. And then your Lonely Hearts Club got sausage, white onions, green peppers,
Looks
and
like bacon.
ricotta cheese.
Is there bacon? No,
That's actually our sausage.
Sliced sausage. And these little gems right here, Clay and I've already tasted them. These are the garlic knots.
Garlic knots.
And you got to come try it. They kind of look like a chicken drummy, don't they, Clay?
did.
But they're drizzled with, is that a Parmesan? Garlic butter. Oh, my gosh.
And Parmesan on top of that.
Nothing says loving like garlic butter.
Can't go wrong with that.
You come on down here and check it out. We're going to try some of this after we get off the air, but Clay and I had to get on the garlic knots just a little bit quicker. It was right in front of us. First of all, let's talk about Friday night after the game. We came down. Man, what a crowd. That's a great atmosphere.
We were super excited about it. We had about 40 to 50 people in here.
How late did you stay? I mean, I think I left about 10:15. They were still rolling in the door. Yeah.
11:30, we filled up the buffet one last time. And I don't know, those boys, they didn't eat quite as much as I thought they would. So,
well, it was about empty, and so, but they were, like I said, they were still rolling in. If you want to come in after the game, it's a great time. It's $14.
$14. That includes
buffet
snacks and a drink.
And a drink.
And it's pizza and salad.
No, just pizza.
Just pizza.
But they did have a dessert pizza up there.
Dessert pizzas.
Well, I don't know if you saw, we had 2,600 people, and that was just by Friday. Watched this on Facebook last week.
Really?
So that's a pretty good number. I know I was talking to my marketing department, and I showed them there, and they're like, yeah, 2,600. I was like, yeah, 2,600 people. And that was just on 2 days. I'm sure some people went back and watched again. So
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hate to talk about this because I'm going to look bad, but we're going to talk about our picks of the week. Last week, we all picked Bolivar, and the winner was Osage, so we all got the first one wrong. And then, Suddy, you picked Harrison.
I did pick Harrison.
You got the jump there. We all picked Branson. Harrison won that ball game, and that was a 34-27 victory. And then we all picked the Zizzers. Another bad move.
Tell you what, it would be hard for me to pick against them. Same teams again.
I know.
We've just been through that.
They lost to Mountain Home, Arkansas, 49-30, and then the Van Horn Hillcrest game. This is where I messed up. I picked Hillcrest because the long trip for Van Horn. You guys all picked Van Horn. They demolished Hillcrest, 38-6. How did you know that, Mike? How did you know Van Horn was going to win? Did you know anything about Van Horn, or you just didn't like Hillcrest?
I've been reading up on it.
Okay.
Deep research.
Yes.
Deep research.
So-
I gave a call to the coach just to see how.
Have you got a spread on this? I mean, are we getting some points? I mean,
I don't think we can talk.
okay, well, it's just for fun. It's for garlic knots. So, and then CJ, we all picked CJ, and they won. So they beat Capital City. Clay was really happy to see that Capital City got beat. And then Parkview and Marshfield. Suddy and I, we picked the Vikings, and Marshfield snuck it out 7-6 over Parkview down there in mid-Springfield. So you guys got to jump there. And then we all picked Rogersville, and they won. So on the season, Sutton's 4-3, Clay's 4-3, Mike, you're 4-3, and I get to wear the dunce hat. I'm 2-5.
There you go.
A lot of football left.
Yeah.
Lots of football left. All right, this week's games. Here we go. Harrisonville at Bolivar. Suddy?
I'm going to have to go with Bolivar. No, I'm not going to have to go with Bolivar. I will go with Bolivar.
There you go.
Clay?
Bolivar's going to be it. I'm telling you, I'm excited about what I seen last week in the loss.
It's a big week for the boys. It's Bolivar.
All right. I'm going Bolivar, too. Unless they're playing Nixa, I'm not. Maybe Republic. I'm not voting. It's our boys. I'm a homer through and through. All right, Branson at Camdenton, and that should be a pretty good ball game. Camdenton got beat by your Jays last week, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Most certainly did.
What was the score on that one?
Just enough to win, I believe. It wasn't a blowout. The last time I'd seen it, I think the Jaybirds had 28 and Camdenton was double digits.
So Branson's going up to the lake. What do you think, Sut?
This is kind of a you pick 'em, I think, but being at Camdenton, and we've experienced that, show up at Camdenton too. They'll have a big crowd. They'll have a good band. They'll do it upright. I'm going Camdenton.
Clay?
I'm going to hit Branson.
Oh, we got a little separation here. Mike, what about you?
I'm going to go with Camden. They've had a pretty good program for a long time.
Yeah, if this game was at Branson, I think I'd take Branson. But as Sutton said, you go up to Camdenton, it is a spectacle. I'm going to go with the Lakers as well. And Marshfield, that was last week's game. Marshfield will be
at Reed
Spring. Okay, I'm sorry. Marshfield at Reed Spring. Suddy?
I'm going with Marshfield.
All right, Clay?
Yeah, I'm going to put Marshfield down myself.
And Mike?
Same for me.
I'll just keep it across the board. I like the Blue Jays as well. I think Reed Spring down a little bit. They took a pretty big loss last week. I think they got their numbers down, so I'm going with the Blue Jays as well. And then we're going to have Hillcrest at Rolla. Long trip for the Hornets. What do you think, Seth?
It is. It's a long ways up there, and Rolla plays pretty well there unless it's raining. We've noticed they don't play well when it's raining up there.
Very true.
I don't think it's supposed to rain, so I'm going with
You're going with the Bulldogs?
Yeah.
Clay?
I think Rolla's going to come out on top of that one right there.
Let me guess you're going with Rolla?
I'm also with Rolla. I hate that drive.
I'm going to go with the Bulldogs as well. I think it's a long trip, and obviously Hillcrest might be a little bit down, haven't seen, but I like the Bulldogs up there. CJ at Heritage, Arkansas, and this is a big one. That's a big school. I think that's the second largest school in Arkansas, Heritage now. It is a big school. They're traveling to Arkansas. Who you got, Sut?
Well, anytime you cross a line, you're down 7 before you even get in the
We should have seen that last week.
Just didn't think of it last week. I didn't think of it, so I'm going with Heritage.
All right. Clay?
I'm going to stick with CJ on that.
All right, we got a little change. What do you think, Big Mike?
Go with Heritage.
Heritage. And I'm going to go with Heritage, too. And then we'll go to West Plains at Parkview. The Zizzers are going to make the 3-hour trip up to Parkview. Set.
West Plains has been mad for several days now, and they're going to take it out on Parkview when they get to Springfield.
I think so.
West Plains.
I want to guess West Plains.
Yep, same here.
I'm going to take the Zizzers as well. And then Ava at Log Rock. Now, Ava has kind of turned their program around the last 6 or 7 years. They've been pretty good. They did lose their coach a few years ago, but
it's the Bears, right?
Yes.
Ava Bears.
They didn't step down any. They're still pretty tight, pretty good. Log Rock, that's a pretty good rivalry. That's going to be a close game. Who you got, Sonny?
I think Coach Wells has got them walking on water down there right now. They don't know any better, so they're going to win.
You got Log Rock. How about you, Clay?
Yeah, I've already got circled. Log Rock is it.
Mike?
Let's go with Ava.
I like that pick, Mike. I'm going to go with Ava as well because they're playing at Ava, and I have called a few ball games at Ava, and it may be second only to West Plains.
It says that log on my sheet here.
I'm still going with Ava.
That's okay. It's okay.
I'm going to go with Ava. So 4-3, 4-3, 4-3, and 2-5. We'll see what happens next week. Should be another great week of football, guys. The weather. Perfect. We didn't talk about that with Coach Clardy. It was beautiful.
Unbelievable.
I think it was 78 degrees at kickoff. We never had a water break. It's supposed to be the same kind of weather Friday night. It ought to be a great night. Hopefully get a big crowd. You can come down here and eat a pizza beforehand. You can come down here and eat a pizza afterwards.
You can never eat too much pizza.
Absolutely not.
I would imagine that after the game, you will have the football game on up here, right?
What football game?
Yeah. The Chiefs will be playing up here.
The Bears. Oh, you're a Bears fan?
The Chicago Bears. Oh, my goodness.
Well played.
You mean the Chargers game?
Yeah.
Is that who the Chiefs are playing? I don't even know. I'm having a hard time keeping up with high school games, let alone college.
Mizzou will have another big thriller.
Kansas. Yeah. Glad to see that rivalry continue. I hope they beat them red-legged bees to death.
Yeah.
Young chicken hawks.
All right. So let's talk about your two pizzas up here. What's your favorite of these two?
The Lonely Hearts Club.
Lonely Hearts Club.
Absolutely my favorite. I just found out about a month ago that I like ricotta on pizza. So
Okay.
It's never too late to learn.
I will tell you, the Bearcat is a super popular, and there's a ton of flavors on it.
Okay.
Last week, just so we didn't have them get them out here in time, but we had the Liberator and the Barge.
And I really like the Liberator.
Liberator, when it was Rocco's, it used to be called the Spartacus, and that was my favorite.
Okay. That was a good one. And the Barge was just full of meat. It was good. Now, I would say in the buffet, I had the buffalo chicken, and that stuff was good. I ate every piece on the buffet, and there was a lot of people looking at me like, could you stop at 4? No, I'm sorry. I'm taking them all.
Everybody says it, and I think it has a lot to do with our homemade ranch.
Is that what it is?
That's
Homemade
what the
ranch?
sauce is for, our homemade ranch.
All right. Well, again, want to thank all our fine sponsors. Barge's Pizza, they're the main sponsor. We're right down here. Shelter Insurance, Craig Lehman Agency, Bill Grant Ford, McCarthy Drilling, again, Andrew State Farm Insurance, CNC Farm and Home Supply, Animal Care Clinic, Mid-Missouri Bank, HMI Fireplace, MD Lux, and Grand Missouri Bank. This is Matt Hennenberg for Clay Meyer, Sutton Medley, and Big Mike saying so long, and thank you for watching the Coach's Corner on mosports.com or mosportszone.com.
There you go. There you go.
Time now.